This is a session that my wife and I, we do together. We call it the Naked Truth. And honestly, this is a time where we actually sit down and ask each other questions personally. And as I told you earlier, how we work on communication. And we've actually made it to the point where we call it the Naked Truth because there's nothing that should be hidden in our relationships. And we should be able to have conversations that I think they're difficult conversations at times. They're fun conversations at times. And so we just decided, hey, let's do this. I'm a little more outgoing in terms of talking about certain things that are, private and personal. So I'm very proud of my wife because this is actually not something that she will, always would do. I'm the one that preaches. I'm the one that kind of tell all our business, and so.
And I never get to rebuttal.
Yeah. So we thought, hey, let's sit down and ask some honest questions each other and what we need from one another. And so that's what we're going to do. And we want to be as transparent and real with you. Questions are important. And in relationships, it's so important for us to have the, openness where we can kind of talk and actually have honest conversation. So, so we're going to start off, we're going to warm it up a little here. On the screen, there's going to be timers. We're going to do a couple of warm-ups because we want to kind of show you how it's going to go. And there's going to be timers on there. We have to finish at the end of that. If you ever watch the show on ESPN, it's called PTI, where these two guys kind of debate back and forth. We're not going to argue. At least I don't think so.
Let's hope not.
But we're going to go for it. So here's the first question I'm going to ask you, Tonya. What is something that I could do for hours straight? I could do for hours straight.
It's not a could, it's a this is what you do. It is watch football for hours straight. Every Sunday, and honestly, he's earned this because it wasn't like this when we first got married. But every Sunday, we were in New York for so long, so it started at 1 o'clock. It's probably 12 in Texas, I'm not even
12,
sure. 3 games back to back. Like, I don't even look for them. All the guys are going, yep, that's what we do.
Well, so I started off, I thought that's the way it was going to happen in marriage at the beginning, that I can do that. And she let me know real quickly, you can't do this. And so I had to stop doing it early on in our marriage. But now I'm tenured. And so I can come home on Sundays. I don't have to explain anything. My girls know, they know. Don't ask me to do anything from September to February on Sundays.
He's not going anywhere. We can't plan anything. He's not going to be a part of it.
No, I'm just not. I mean, they know. I mean, now emergencies I will, but that's my time, So I don't even have them watch it with me because if they come down there like, ooh, look how tight his pants. I'm not looking at how tight their pants are.
We have daughters. That's what they do.
Yeah. Ooh, he's fine. I like him. I never thought about that. So the one thing I would say.
What could I do for hours straight?
Puzzles. Do puzzles?
I can, yes.
Is that a good answer?
That's a good answer.
Okay, all right. I'm just trying to check in.
Any puzzlers in the house? Oh, I have a few. Okay. Yeah, I do. I enjoy puzzles. It's very relaxing, very calming. I put my music on, and puzzles generally take a long time anyway. So I love that. I could do that for hours straight.
Yeah.
It's just the nerd in me, I guess. But.
Yeah, she likes puzzles. It makes me itch.
Yeah, like during the pandemic. So, if there's anything you ever wanted your spouse to do and you couldn't get them to do it, asking them during the pandemic was like a win. Because, we run out of things to do. So I asked him, would he please do a puzzle with me? And he did. I got literally like a 300-piece puzzle. First of all, it was I just wanted him to sit down. It was like the most remedial puzzle session I have ever.
Call me dumb. Stupid.
I mean, it was.
Go ahead.
So I'm like, I had to teach him and tell him like how you have to kind of look for sides that match. Like he had no clue. He was putting things together that in no way would ever go together. So, but we did 300 pieces. It was rough, but he did it, and so I'm grateful.
Yep. Praise God. Wonder Twin Power, activate.
There you go.
All right, here's the next question, Tonya. This is a question I never asked you before. So this is a question. If you could have a superpower, what would it be and why?
So we don't rehearse these, and that one I just don't know. Like a superpower. I don't. I honestly don't know.
Ask me.
Yeah, because I really don't. I mean, I'm not even going to say read your mind because I don't have to read your mind. Like, you tell me things. It's not that. Okay, let me ask you because I really don't know.
I want the powers of Professor X from the X-Men. He has the ability to see in the minds and the hearts of everyone else. I would like that power. Plus, you know, he's a leader, and I like that. So that's the power I would want. Yeah.
Honestly, if I had to pick anything, like my personality is just that of a go-getter. Like he tells me all the time I don't know how to sit down because I think I'm just busy by nature. Like I have to be doing something all the time. So if I'm ever like sitting and watching TV, it's almost like he applauds me. He's like, oh, it's good, you're sitting down, that's great. I'm like, I sit.
I know she does, because she's like, this literally, my wife plans our vacations. It's like for me, she plans the vacation, but she plans the activities on the vacation.
That's a vacation.
And that's just like, that's not a vacation to me. I want to chill. And then when so this is what she does. This is what she's like. My wife is like, let's do something, and then let's do something.
I want to jet ski. I want to snorkel. I want to
parasail,
climb. I want to go hiking. I want to parasail. I want to do all the stuff I can't do at my house.
And so
that's vacation for me.
We need a vacation when we come back from vacation.
You do.
Yeah, because I'm tired.
Yeah. So for me, I mean, my superpower is probably sad, but it would probably be able to multitask more because I just want to get more done. I think it's just my personality. So it's probably not a good superpower, but that's one thing I could think of.
So you would be a Decepticon. I'm a Transformer. That's a Decepticon.
I have no idea what a Decepticon is.
All right, let's get real. We actually saved ourselves 36 seconds there. These are some real questions we're going to ask, and I will start asking you this question.
Okay.
What's working in our marriage, and what could we improve on in our marriage?
Okay, so you're asking me this.
Yes.
Okay. So what I think is working in our marriage is our ability or how we have grown to be able to work together as smoothly as we do. Ever since we've been in ministry, or he's been in ministry, I've always been by his side. I've always been the partner there with him to help him do all the things that need to be done to support someone who's traveling like he does. And early on in the ministry, you may not have always listened to the things that I would, suggest, but I think over the years, he's realized the wonderful helpmeet that I am and can be, right? And so he listens more. So I would say that's what it is, that our ability to work together and to accomplish the things we do together in marriage. I think that's working well. And then I have about a few seconds, 20 seconds. What could we improve on? And you touched on it. And I think it's our, we communicate, but being able to do things together more socially. I think as we grew in marriage and, we raised our kids and now our kids are out of the house, I don't think socially we grew together as much as we could have. And by that I mean like the things that we like to do outside of church. Like I love to hike. He's not ever going to do that. But maybe if I had introduced it earlier, we could have maybe just started with just some simple hikes. So I think developing those fun things that you do together as a couple and then doing that as you grow, I think that's something we could have worked on more, like intentionally.
Yeah. I would say what's working in our marriage is our ability to be honest with one another. I think that we've gotten to that place where we don't get offended by, I talked about it in our last session, but we just don't get offended by things like I see, we did early on, like where you been, what took you so long. I think that's working, where we can actually come together and talk and be able to discuss something. And, I would say the same thing that you just mentioned about what could we improve on. I think it's just, kind of learning to respect each other's desires and not forcing each other to do it, but respecting each other. Like you did, she had a game night a few months ago, and she invited all her girlfriends to come over. And then she actually, and in that said, hey, I don't want them just to come over, but I'd like for you to go get a hotel where we can have the whole house. And I'm like, okay, cool. And our time is up, but here's the deal. I didn't think about it at first when I said yes, because I really wanted to make it something special for you. But it ended up being a win for me because I got to watch football for 2 days straight.
You see? This is it.
Yes.
Thank you. I
Okay,
guess. Thank
all
you.
right.
Okay. Next question.
Okay. Okay, what is one thing I can do to make you feel more valued?
Okay. So this might sound like I'm contradicting what I just said, but I'm not. So one thing you could do to make me feel more valued is so he said he's a fixer, and he is. Like, he can hear something, and I think he has the answer before I even finish explaining what I'm trying to say. And so something you could do is to hear me out, let me finish saying what I'm saying before you jump in and say, yeah, I already got that. And so, like, an example was, like, I think it was a couple days ago, I was like trying to explain something about some dates or something. Mm-hmm. And I'm going around and around, and I'm like, no, I know what I'm talking about. He's like, nope, that's not it. And at that point, I just kind of throw my hands up. Like, I'm not going to argue with a wall. So if this is what you think you know, go with it. We'll figure it out. Like, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to let him just...
I just want to know, am I a brick wall? Or
sometimes.
Sheetrock? I just want to know.
I'm the smart one that's not going to argue with the brick and the sheetrock. I'm not going to do that. So to make me feel valued, and I said I wasn't finished talking, but you probably didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
Because I said it and then I walked away. Because I'm not going to sit there and argue. I'm going to go. So that's what you could do.
All right. I received that.
Thank you. See, marriage counseling right up here in front of all you folks, right here. It's happening right here.
What
is one thing I can do to make you feel more valued? You have a minute.
I have a minute. Oh,
I took too long.
she took most of the time to say you have a minute. I'm going to be. I don't think there's anything else. You do a really good job of that. You know? I really do feel like you value me. You listen to me. You tell me the truth. I don't have anything. And these are spontaneous questions, so we're not, like I said, we didn't rehearse these. So I can't think of anything that I could feel like, hey, you do a really good job of making me feel special, number one in your life. You put me before anything else in your life, and good job.
Thanks, babe. Now I feel bad. Thank you.
If I think of something later, I'll tell you.
Yeah, I don't want to hear later.
I'm still on the clock.
Next question.
Next question. All right. This is a question about money. This is an interesting question in our relationship. Am I a spender or a saver?